How do you forgive someone who abused you? Someone who harmed you deeply? After that sort of trauma, how do you ever feel worthy of love again? Worthy of kindness in your body and your mind? Today I want to talk about something very important, something that sits underneath forgiveness, your sense of self. Thank you for joining me today. For anyone joining me for the first time, my name is Rose, and I do hope you enjoy your time spent with me. Let's get back to our self-worth. I think it's something that so many people battle with, and let's talk about it today. Some of us have a damaged self-worth, some have a negative one, and many of us don't even realize it. So let me ask you gently, where does your sense of self-worth come from? Is it based on what you've achieved in life, how successful you were, how you look, your social status, how much you own, or perhaps what others think of you? For many of us, it's a mixture of all of the above. And when those things change, which they mostly do as we age, our sense of self can collapse. I'll share with you something personal. I've felt most of my life that I've never really achieved much. I had little moments of success, but nothing to talk about really. Yes, I know I had potential, but somehow it was never quite enough. And I didn't really know how to change that feeling I had about myself. I didn't come from a long line of successful people. I didn't have any money, and I didn't have any degrees. I did find myself always being very conscious of my image, which I suppose I thought maybe covered up for any other shortfalls, which we all know is not true. But our egos can be such a trap. You know, even without saying it, people will give the impression, well, I know more than he does. At least I look better than she does. And I've done much more. But this kind of self-worth is fragile. Because today you might feel superior, but tomorrow you find yourself in another walk of life, and, well, that means nothing to that group of people. And then you start to feel inferior because you feel you don't fit in. So that never really satisfies, does it? And of course, if you weren't given enough love and attention as a child, that can really affect you as you grow into an adult. Not because your parents were cruel and unkind, maybe that was what they had to give, and it's all they knew. But it still left you with a feeling of not having had enough. It can really leave a wounded sense of self. And that pain is real. Don't let anybody tell you any different. And that pain stays with you. And even if you do prove yourself in lots of other ways and you try to build up your own self-esteem, very often that feeling doesn't go away, right? You can take it right into your old age. That struggle, unfortunately, just can't keep going. But healing can only really begin when we stop building our identity on painful memories, past trauma, and old emotional wounds. Instead, we need to go deeper. And I know I've spoken about this before. We need to be still. We need to be quiet within ourselves and go deeper. And there, beneath the pain, beneath the memories, beneath the hurt, we begin to find something new. The being of you, the being of me. When you connect to this deeper self, you no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer define yourself by what you've done, what you've achieved, and forgiveness then becomes possible. Not rushed, not forced, but possible. Definitely not because what happened was okay. It was not okay. But you are no longer living under that wound. If you're carrying pain from the past, if you struggle with self-worth, and if forgiveness feels just impossible right now, please know this. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you truly are. Your worth has always been there, and please remember that. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. If you enjoyed it, perhaps you'd like to subscribe to my channel and maybe even share it with someone else who you think might like to listen to it and perhaps get some comfort from it too. Just remember, your worth is right here. It doesn't depend on anybody else, anything else, any degrees, any fancy job, fancy car, fancy house, material possessions. It depends on nothing but you. Find your own self-worth deep down where you know it really is. Until next time, big hugs to you. Bye for now.